What's up, everybody? Horror DJ back with another Battlefield commentary. Starting the game off in Super Death Speed mode. God, I'm really getting back into this game. Using the MG36. I love that gun. I think you unlock it by after you download the Kirkland pack and the extra weapons and stuff. Here's one of the things that I think really differentiates Battlefield from the Call of Duty series. Now, obviously, Call of Duty's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Everybody's got to take notice. Even when the games are bad, they're still going to get a million plays. Just because, it's Call of Duty. It means absolutely nothing how good the game is. People are going to play it. But Battlefield is starting to creep up. The reason, tight gameplay. Your bullets, they have to hit to actually count. There's definitely recoil in the guns. I haven't fired a gun in this game yet that doesn't have any kind of significant recoil other than, I think the pistols and a few of the SMGs. But they've all got their fair share of recoil. There's the positives and negatives. The MG36 is pretty good at distance. It's pretty beast up close. You don't lose a whole lot of one-on-one gun battles if you're facing, each other right away, which I do a couple times. I have horrible aim, and aim means quite a bit in this game. If you're aiming at somebody's head, you're gonna get the headshot. It's not like Call of Duty where if you're aiming at somebody's ankle, it'll register a headshot somehow. Burst fire. If I could give any advice to anybody starting out playing Battlefield games, burst fire your weapon. If you don't, you're going to end up shooting straight up in the sky. Now, my personal preference is I really do like the LMGs in this game. They, obviously high ammo capacity. The feel of the guns is really good. If you notice, I've edited out the deaths and fast-forwarded some of the more boring parts of the game. That's one of the downsides of Battlefield. I had mentioned a while back that I enjoy Battlefield a lot more than I enjoy Call of Duty. But I played Call of Duty more just because of the accessibility. Here's something that's kind of cool. Yeah, you can kill each other in this game. Call of Duty is going to give the kill to one or the other. You rarely see, unless it's like a noob tube or something, you don't shoot at each other and both of you die. If your bullets are registering enough and their bullets are registering enough, you can kill each other in this game. Some people think it's annoying. I actually think it's a bonus. How many times in a Call of Duty game have you been ticked off because you knew you put 1,000 rounds into somebody and they put 1,000 rounds into you and you died and they didn't because of lag compensation. Lag compensation. I was checking out on Twitter and X-Reign Supreme, Loyal Patriot, had put on there, if you just looked up Robert Bowling and lag compensation, you could see all the tweets. I did. We were a little bit slow at work the other day. Oh my god, people hate that man. I actually feel a little bit sorry for him. He's set himself up for failure, but at the same time, you really, if you're gonna promise somebody something, you gotta deliver. Does anybody else remember when he walked out on stage, and was like, "Fuck Last Stand"? Pardon my French. And then the game comes out a couple months later, and Last Stand's one of the death streaks. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Call of Duty all that much. This game just feels right to me. For some reason, as I was saying before, I don't mind when I die in this game. It doesn't piss me off as much if I'm actually helping my team out. The people that are just sniping, hanging out in the back, the people that don't ever rush, they don't push, they don't try to capture stuff. Those are the people, when they kill you, it ticks you off a little bit. That and the people running the auto shotty with frag rounds. That's if there was one thing I could take out of this game, it would be the shotguns with the frag rounds. they're kind of cheap. They're a little bit overpowered. But at the same time, and they have a great distance to them. I should probably use them more than I do, but I don't ever really use the shotguns. Right here, this is another example of why I like the LMGs. You know, that was a 2-piece, and, you know, I still had enough ammo if there was another 1 or 2 guys that was coming around the corner. Hang on, my dog is playing with a squeak toy. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, the LMGs, you know, you have a 100-round clip, 101 rounds, whatever, and, you know, those are the times that you really need that extra ammo. 2, 3 people coming around a corner at you. You're not going to survive that if you're rocking a gun that's only got 30 bullets. Unless you have ridiculous aim, which a lot of guys do. I just don't. I suffer from aim-itis. It's a sad disease. It affects a lot of people that play video games. But, you know, I'm pretty lucky that I can make do with the talents that God's given me. What little talent there is. But, yeah, this game mode, I haven't really even talked about the game mode yet. Conquest. You know, the 2 primary modes, Conquest and Rush. I mean, there's Team Deathmatch as well and squad stuff. But I mostly play either Rush or Conquest. The reason for it, you know, they have the most action. Right there, that was a bad death by me. The explosion went off. I hesitated before I ran again. The guy got another mortar off. Mortars, don't get me started. I use them every once in a while if people are camping quite a bit. But, yeah, for the most part, I'll stick with C4 and Claymores. Class setup. Like I said, I usually rock out with Claymores or C4. C4 if there's, you know, quite a bit of tanks and stuff. Later on, I have a C4 mishap and I don't survive. But, yeah, I sped this part up a little bit because I end up laying here for a little while. I see there's a mine out here, and I'm waiting for a grenade because I can't seem to hit it with my gun. But the class setups. With Conquest, I usually run with the LMG classes. And in Rush, it depends, either LMG or the assault kit because it's got the patty cake paddles. And which are invaluable to your team. Now, Conquest it's a little shaky. As long as you hold the majority of the flags or the capture points, you don't lose ticks nearly as fast. I mean, you can still lose them. Yeah, I didn't even see that guy laying inside the dead body there. But you don't lose them as fast. And if you have all of them, you don't lose any ticks. So you can afford to run a class where you can't patty cake people as often. Rush, you know, a good squad of 4 will have, you know, at least 2 assault guys, maybe a support class, and a class with an LMG so they can resupply, and a class with the SMGs so that, you know, you have access to rockets or mines or you know, that's the repair tool. But yeah, in Conquest, it's kind of more of a free-for-all. If you stick with your squads, you do a lot better. If you notice in this gameplay, I'm always within at least a decent running distance of my squad. There's a couple times we get separated, but one of the guys on our team is trying to get some of the achievements for sniping, so, you know, he was kind of lone wolfing it. If you notice at the end of the game, too, his score wasn't nearly as high as the other two of us, because we were rushing. We were trying to stay in the action as much as possible. Kill to death ratio, yeah, it does mean something in this game. Win-loss, yeah, it does mean some stuff, but sometimes you just get stuck with a really bad team. You know, that's one of the advantages Call of Duty has over Battlefield. If you're stuck on a crappy team in this game, you're not going to win. You're just not going to. You know, in Call of Duty, one guy can make the difference, which I think that's why a lot of people will always play that game. You know, the squad mentality has basically been taken out of a lot of the video games out there just because of the speed of everything. That to people that don't enjoy Battlefield, they will look at a normal Conquest game and think it's boring because you're going in between targets. Yeah, I have no idea where this guy came from. Stabbed me right in the ass. There were people all around looking. Yeah, I mean, to me the game's not boring because I'm always trying to think of the next objective or where I want to go, what I want to do. Fast forward in this part again. I get pretty lucky actually because there's a tank. Well, you'll see me blow myself up trying to kill the tank, but for some reason the tank never moves forward. It doesn't try to move forward or stop us from taking this. So good on us, I guess. Bad on me for blowing myself up here in a few. Yeah, but to me this game's not boring at all. This game, there's a lot of action if you know what you're looking for in this game. There's a little bit of a rush when you're charging a tank with C4. There's a little bit of a rush when you're on your way to an objective. You can kind of see how the battlefield's playing out. You can see where they've got their defensive position set up and your team's spawning on you. And, two of you go right, two of you go left, or, one guy's hanging back trying to pick off targets as they come out. It's a different mentality. It's a different speed of game. Yes, it's a little bit slower paced at times, but you get on certain maps, like Operation Metro, and the rush mode on that game, there's no vehicles, but my God, there's constant gunplay. You're never more than, unless you mean to be, you're never more than 5 seconds outside of a really decent gunfight. And that, to me, is the beauty of Battlefield. Yeah, there's lulls in the action, but when there is action, usually it's pretty hairy. It's it's fast paced while you're shooting, but at the same time, you get a chance to collect yourself, and I think that's part of the reason why some people that aren't very good at Call of Duty can be really great at Battlefield. They get stressed out. They get that their fast twitch going, and they need a refractory period. They need a second to recover. Just a few minutes. Like 30 seconds, just to take some time and be like, all right, I'm good. All the crazy shit's just happened, and I'm ready for what's coming next. Whereas Call of Duty, it's snap, 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 crazy, crazy, crazy. Unless you're a camper, and which there's plenty of. As I've said before, in this game, I don't really mind camping as much as long as you're doing it in a position that helps your team. The guy that's sniping off at the edge of the map that, he goes, oh, I got 5 kills, and he didn't die at all. He really, oh, God, I hate this gun, the USAS-12. Anyway, they're not doing anything for their team, and they're not helping their team because they're not really deterring anybody from doing it. But the guys that, like on this map, if you're in this back building by D, just to the right of where I'm shooting right now, there's a place where you can go up in that building. It's a high traffic area right there because through the left and the right, there's flags, but that's kind of a convergence point. If you can get a good spot in that building, you get a sniper that drops a spawn beacon there, and you're constantly pushing back and forth because you can come from several different ways just to get to that middle point. On this map, it's kind of hard to spawn trap, which is great. I mean, other maps, it's super easy to spawn trap. I don't know how you say it. To me, it looks like nose hair canals. If you're playing Conquest, if you can take all 3 objectives real quick and they're spawning out on the aircraft carrier, man, they're pretty much screwed because you can just post up. But yeah, this is kind of coming to an end here. I don't know why I switched my class right here at the end, but I did. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I totally went 19-11, but I capped several flags. I was picked up a couple different times, but yeah, ton of points on this one. Battlefield to me is the better of the 2 games. It's just not as accessible. But that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you next time.